We decided to do this video as it came to our attention of the constant deviant criminal actions of certain sect members of the US black community, having been caught committing devious crimes against minors, etc., getting busted, going to court and being sent to jail. Revealed to Sarnetta at Sarnetta TV. This is one of many videos in regard to a deviant who was caught, who had them all fooled, thinking that he was a legit sect member and he was all good, very clever, very intelligent, but he was actually very cunning, deceitful, and so forth. He had even Sarnetta fooled, everyone else fooled, and so forth. We're going to be reading from our notes. We've titled this Solving a Problem, which is a worldwide community problem. We begin by asking, why are so many former Christians falling away from Christianity, the faith, and becoming deconverted atheists, etc.? This also applies to the other two organized religions, Judaism and Islam. We will strive to look into this gigantic problem affecting the churches, and many of today's so-said Christians, as well as former Christians who deconverted, turned atheist, etc. We will be striving long to solve this phenomenal problem within our communities, within our different cities and countries. Trying to understand why is this happening, and then finding a way to solve it, to rectify it, to fix it. We have seen of late, and we've heard many podcasts of people voicing their reasons, opinions, perspectives, views, etc., why they became deconverted and turned to atheism on YouTube, the internet, as well as other social platforms, media, and so forth. These soulfully express their confusions, being baffled by it all, Christianity, etc., the three organized religions and others, doubting those religions' claims, stating often it's absurd, defies reality, common sense and logic, is false, deceptive, and so on, can be dangerous, harmful and dangerous to all. But be aware that a coin has two sides, it has two faces to it, or two faces upon it. A head, a face, and some sort of symbol on the other side of it, right? Doesn't it? So let's look at both the head and the tail, or the faces, in this context, of those deconverted former Christians who turned atheists, as well as today's modern Christians, believers, those of the Abrahamic or Jesus faith, or even Islam, and so forth. And let's also refer to the original ancient, very Old Testament manuscripts in the sacred scribal language of God, that which he spoke to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. The men at the Tower of Babel supposedly who also spoke that sacred scribal tongue. the Lishana Artica Saprea, the language of God, sacred scribal language of God, from the original ancient very old Tab Asheri or Asherit or Aramaic, the sister language of the original ancient very old Tab Ivri or Hebrew. Long D languages, but revived by native born Aramaic speaking translator Victor Ian Alexander from Bet Narain or Mesopotamia, Syria. Again, as we stated, coins have two sides, usually a face and some sort of symbol in the front and the back. So let's look at both the pros and cons, or cons and pros, of the three major religions and their holy writs, or their holy writings, their books, their scrolls, their scriptures, the manuscripts, their scriptures, etc. Let's look at both the problem of a person as well, before judging them, criticising them unjustly, unfairly, throwing prejudice, bias, bigotry, racism, religious hatred of that particular religion or other religions, denominations, groups, or sects, or small movements or groups. So we will have a clear, mature, adult view and understand without resorting to a childlike, spoiled brat manner and become troll-like. Let's not judge or criticise people based on gossips, generated rumours, which are often exaggerated, highly exaggerated, by the person relaying what they've heard or what's been said, in order to make the stories seem real, true, or authentic to convince the other person. This is done in order to convince another person of their authenticity. Let's learn to, by practicing, let's learn to realise the telltale signs of truth, telltale signs of stress, fear, lying, etc. through body language, visual body language indicators. Let's practice and learn how to effectively stop, shut the hell up, or be completely silent, saying nothing, resisting the urge to butt in, interrupting a person mid-sentence, or cutting them off mid-sentence in order to get our own opinion, perspective, view across to them, to try and sway them from theirs and accept ours, because we believe ours is more important and theirs isn't. So yeah, let's stop, shut up, close our mouths or be silent, and think or ponder and analyse what is being verbally expressed to us about the problem at hand. Let us realise why they have that problem at hand and create the best ever solution to cure that problem issue, and to cure that person's issue or problem, to get the person verbalising to see the story from both sides of the coin, the pros and cons, or the cons and pros of the story they're trying to get across to you. Okay, we read from our notes here. We have them in order. Let's look at the three major organized religions, being Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, for an overall remedy, a cure. And that these religions really need to be totally reconstructed, made anew, stopping judgmental bias, prejudice, etc. based on pure gossip, rumours, believed at first realisation invented claims, hype, fluff, and other silly nonsense. Let's put a stop to that. We have a quote: "The greatest experts are the offenders," and this technique is borrowed, or it's a borrowed method, from Alcoholics Anonymous, where each deviant, each criminal, begins a session recollecting or doing a recollection of the crimes they committed, and gives the reasons publicly of why they resorted to doing it, why they committed the crimes, the deviousness. We're going to ask now, is the sin or that crime or that transgression or iniquity within one's genetics, etc.? We understand the childhood may have been affected by being a victim of a crime or someone's lust, etc., because that person usually is a family member that they were familiar with. And again, we're asking, do they actually have that sin, that iniquity, that transgression in their genetic makeup? The societal problems confronted. We will talk about this particular subject, this problem that affects every society and its people living within it, our nations, our countries, etc. Each one that we live in. We won't show footage of the documentaries that we've watched on these criminals, these deviants, as they usually carry copyright, and we generate a copyright claim or strike a claimed infringement, whether or not they're for real or they're just showing at us for the hell of it. Plus the video footage that we have studied, we've watched, listened to, etc., and watched, will cause many without a clear head able to listen to an analysis by stopping, shutting up, being silent, not saying anything, and then responding with immature, childlike, spoiled brat mannerisms, having a tantrum and trolling, etc. Is the crime committed or sin, iniquity or transgression originating from one's genetics rather than the DNA, due to an ancestor, forefather having a genetic flaw within them consisting of that particular crime, sin, transgression or iniquity, from birth, conception, lying dormant within until it's triggered and released and actioned? Is it due to intermarriage? By that we mean one man of one race marrying a woman of a completely different race, either who has that particular genetic flaw or that seed within them, and they pass it down. It's been passed down from person to person over the centuries, from generation to generation, and again it's lying dormant within them, just waiting to be triggered, waiting to be hatched and actioned. These statements are in no shape or form personal racism or racist slurs, etc., or from a racist upbringing. It's just a thought that happened to come to mind due to past news reports, footage of certain peoples of a certain race, nation, who have committed many deviant crimes and leaving numerous victims in their wake as a result. Again, this is not intended to be a racist orientated supremacist claim or other, as we are not prejudiced, biased, or racist orientated in any way or manner. But according to the known Roman orator of historian of history that we came across, the Roman Tacitus, in his statement, who indicated that a certain peoples that he knew of, that he heard of, were well known for their lust. They couldn't control their lusts. Those who it points to would consider it biased, possibly racist, anti-them, and voicing it as such. It's a statement made by Tacitus, not us. We just came across it. We thought, okay, maybe that's the reason why there was an influx of so many of these peoples of that particular nation doing these devious crimes and being taken to court and then sent to jail. But there were others as well with different races that did the same thing, similar thing, were accused of the similar thing. So does it make Tacitus, who made that statement, clearly anti-them or racist? No, we don't believe so. Okay, let's learn again. Let's learn to, by practicing daily, how to stop. Should be the wrong one. That's one. That's two. That's three. 3.5. 4. Okay. That's the problem. Okay. Take 2 or 3. We decided to do this video as it came to our attention of the constant deviant criminal actions of certain sect members of the US black community, having been caught, having committed similar devious crimes. There's others who have done the same apparently, getting busted, going to court. Take 5. We decided to do this particular video as it came to our attention of the constant deviant criminal actions of certain sex members. We decided to do this video as it came to our attention of the constant deviant criminal actions of certain sect members of the US black community, being caught, having committed devious crimes, leaving victims in their wake, getting busted, going to court, and then going to jail. Revealed to and by Sarnetta on Sarnetta TV, and these are people like Polite, other brothers, etc. of that particular black community. We are going to break and ask this question we have in our mind. We've titled this video Solving a Problem, which is a worldwide community problem, a national problem, international problem. Why are so many former Christians falling away from Christianity, the faith, and even the other 2 organized religions, Judaism and Islam, and becoming deconverted, turning atheists, etc.? We will strive through this video to look into this gigantic problem affecting the church, the churches, and today's Christians and former Christians who deconverted and turned atheists, etc. We will strive long to solve this phenomenal problem and try to understand why this is happening in our modern day, these modern times, and then try to solve it, find a way to solve it and rectify it, to fix it. We of late have found, seen and heard, watching many podcasts, etc., of people voicing their reasons, their opinions, their perspectives, etc., on why they became deconverted and turned to atheism on YouTube, the internet, as well as other social platforms or media. These people express their confusions, being baffled by it all, by the three organised religions or religion as a whole, then doubting its claims, what's in the scriptures, what's in the Bible, etc., often stating it's absurd, it defies logic, common sense and reality, it's harmful, it's dangerous, it's false, deceptive, etc., and so on. Picture this: a coin has two sides to it, does it not? It has a face, probably of a president, depending on what country you're in, and also some sort of animal symbol or some sort of symbol on the other side. But it has two sides to it, doesn't it? So let's look at both sides, okay, or faces. Let's look at those of the faith that deconverted, became they're former Christians and they turned atheists, as well as today's Christians, believers, those of the Abrahamic Jesus faith, and so forth. And let's also refer to the original ancient, very old Testament manuscripts in the sacred scribal language of God, the Lishana Atika Saprea, that which he spoke to Adam and Eve in the garden, and the men of the Tower of Babel supposedly spoke obviously on the Tower of Babel. The Lishana Atika Saprea of the original ancient very old Tab Asheret or Asheri or Aramaic. This is the language of the original ancient very old Tab Ivri or Hebrew, translated into nearest English equivalent by Victor N. Alexander, where it applies. Okay. Again, as we stated, coins have two faces, front and back. So let's look at both the pros and cons, or the cons and pros, of the three major religions in the Holy Writ, or their scrolls and manuscripts, Bibles, etc. Let's look at both problems of a person. Let's look at both the problems of a person before judging them, criticizing them unjustly, unfairly, throwing prejudice, bias, bigotry, racism, religious hatred, or hatred of that particular religion because it differs from yours, denominations, groups, or sects or movements. So we will have a clear, mature adult head and view and understanding without resorting to a childlike, spoiled brat manner or become troll-like. Let's not judge or criticise people based on gossips, rumours generated, which are often exaggerated by the person relaying what they've heard, what they've come across, in order to make these stories seem real or authentic. This was all done this way. They do it all this way in order to convince someone else of their authenticity. It's real, man. It really happened. Let's practice daily and try to realise the telltale indications or signs of a person's stress, fear, whether they're telling the truth or lying, etc., through body language, visual body language indicators. Let's practice, learn how to effectively stop, shut the hell up, or be completely silent, resisting the urge to butt in, interrupting someone mid-sentence or a person mid-sentence and cutting them off in order to get our opinion, to boost our ego and get them to listen to our opinion, perspective or view, that ours is more important and there's is nothing. So again, stop, shut up, close your mouth or be silent, and think, ponder, analyse what is being verbally expressed to you, realising the problem at hand. What's the problem at hand and why they got these issues, etc. And strive to create the best ever solution to solve or cure that problem issue that they have, to cure that person's issues or problems, to get the person verbalising to see the story from both sides, or both sides being the pros and the cons, or the cons and the pros of the story uttered. Again, let's learn to, by practicing daily, how to stop, shut up, be silent, take in, absorb what they are trying to say to us. Let it formulate around inside our heads and our mind. Try to understand what they are expressing to us, pondering long on them, analysing it, to come up with the best solution, remedy or cure via the best tools that really work and deliver exactly what they promise, i.e. the cure for their problems, issues, as well as our own. Practice getting the person to see, quote, see, unquote, quote, realise, unquote, that person's issues or problems they're verbalising, relaying to you via a story, and to see both the pros and cons, or the cons and pros of that story relayed to you or by you. We believe that the three major organised religions need to be completely or totally reconstructed in these modern times, made anew, simpler to grasp and fully understand, by cutting out all the phantasmal, hype, fluff, fairy tale nonsense, and be fully steeped in logic and common sense. That which really works and brings fantastic mental, physical, as well as spiritual results, first time, every time, as boasted, claimed, or promised scripturally, as determined. Let's find a way to reconstruct it, make it anew, make it a better, quote, way, unquote, better than it currently is. The greatest experts are the criminal offenders. A link of videos of crooks getting away with crimes, totally fooling their questioners during interviews, say at a police station. How do they do that? How do they get away with that? How do they pull the wool over these experts and seem really intelligent, etc., etc.? They're talking their way out of it. The following technique is borrowed from Alcoholics Anonymous. Each session begins with the criminal offender doing a recollection, giving a public recollection of their crime or crimes that they committed publicly. Is the crime committed, or let's use this term, sin, iniquity or transgression, originating from one's genetics rather than DNA, due to an ancestor, a forefather having a genetic flaw within them consisting of that particular crime or sin, transgression or iniquity from way back, it's passed down. Okay, that seed of crime, sin, iniquity, etc., as it's stated by Christians, etc., in the scriptures, apparently that Adam and Eve sinned and it was passed on to their descendants, of which we are. Okay, so again, is the crime committed or sin, iniquity or transgression originating as a seed within or from one's genetics rather than the DNA, due to an ancestor forefather having committed that sin, iniquity, transgression, etc. in their lifetime, and it's been passed down to the next generation, etc., etc. Having a genetic flaw within them consisting of that particular crime, sin, transgression within them, that seed from birth, conception, lying dormant until triggered somehow and released and actioned due to, say, intermarriage, i.e. by that one man of one race marrying a woman of a completely different race, who has either of them has a particular flawed gene, that seed of transgression, iniquity, sin, etc., with deviousness within them, or crime, is passed down from person to person over the centuries. This is in no shape or form a form of personal racism or a racist upbringing, or from a racist upbringing. It's just a thought that happened to come to mind due to past news reports, footage of certain people's, males of a certain race, nation, who committed deviant crimes and leaving numerous victims in their wake as a result. Again, this is not intended to be a racist orientated supremacist propaganda claim or other, as we are not prejudiced, biased or racist orientated. But of note, according to the known Roman orator historian Tacitus, who in a statement indicated that certain peoples he knew of were well known for their lust, uncontrollable lust, these would consider that statement from him biased or racist or anti-them, and enforcing it as such. But it's a statement made by Tacitus, not us, in his book of histories or annals. So does that make him, if that makes us biased, racist, supremacist or whatever, according to someone's warped thought, does that make him clearly anti or racist, anti-them racist, because he's the one that stated it? Okay, we just quoted it because we came across it. We don't believe so. It's just that certain people, like he said, of that particular nation started committing all these devious crimes, and we saw it on these news reports, etc., that these people from that particular nation were continually doing it. Well, there were others as well, but the majority was of this certain nation. That seems like they're quite apt at it, like known, right? They continually did it, or were doing it, and in their religious books, apparently, according to certain people, they've actually got there within them that they have the right to do all these devious acts because of this reason and that reason. It's their religious right to practice that. It's coming from ancient kingdoms. They've come across that and then thought, well, we like that, we'll practice that, we'll be able to do that, we'll rewrite all these holy writs so that we can legally do that, and etc., etc. As we may have mentioned earlier in this video, in this analysis video, we viewed several documentary videos on devious offenders and their victims that they left in their wake, and many thoughts, ideas, even solutions to rectify, to fix that problem, because it is a problem within our communities, within our nations or countries, wherever we are, that came to mind. So let's turn back to religion, the three major organized religions, Judaism, Christianity and Islam, and provide information on our experiences with different religions, factions, institutions with working technologies that we found through our own personal discovery and experiences within them. We know for a fact that they have tools, technology to effectively detect deviance or devious intentions. Even the mind of a person, it reveals their lies, secrets they're keeping hidden within themselves, perhaps even their very deeply embedded thoughts, habits stored deep within their subconscious mind. There are other factors that we are also aware of. You could say we're woke or awake to those, but again, let's go back to the religions. And see what their holy writs speak of, or try to tell us, right? And maybe improve them or reconstruct them, make them more modern to fit the times, make them more palatable, more based around logic and common sense and reality, the now. Back to the religions, we're looking at one in particular, Scientology, as well as the three organized religions, including all the others, the pagan, etc., the other foreign religions, their holy writs, their books, etc., on the problems, the sins, the transgressions and iniquities. Alive within our Western culture and the Eastern culture, which is prevalent there. Some may say, no, it's not, but actually is. There is proof that there is. How can Judaism, Christianity, even Islam solve the problems, this plague of sin, error, transgressions, iniquities being committed alongside the non-religious community, nations, etc., by the elites who are in authority, right? They're in charge, they're on who are often guilty of committing atrocities, some crimes in secret, similar crimes in secret, yet, or devious crimes in secret, yet revealed, when revealed doing such, they're blatantly getting away with it all because they may have a diplomatic immunity or a high hierarchical ladder. They're part of a certain group that gets away with it according to the conspiracy theories, etc., etc., that they are totally untouchable. No one can touch them, they're above the law. Let's delve into the problem, tackle it head on, and provide a better way, quote, way, unquote, via all the holy writ, books, scrolls, etc., that really works, delivers a reliable solution, a fix, a cure, without the common visual bias, prejudice, hate mongering, racism, religious hatred, bigotry, finger pointing, and so forth. How will we go about that? How will we do that? Let's begin by analysing those three major organised religions over a period of days, weeks, years, to see what they actually say, decree what could work and what won't, as it's all hype, fluff, fairy tale nonsense, defying reality, common sense, and defying logic, common sense, and reality. Let's strive to remain within reality, the now, the here and now. Shall we? Yeah, let's do that. The video documentary, or documentary videos that we had viewed, we won't be showing. This is why we have this one visual here. Okay, we're not going to show it, we're not going to play it. Why? because the footage in it would probably get us a copyright claim or copyright strike or some other infringement claim on our channel, whether just or not. Sometimes that happens according to YouTube policy, etc. And also it could generate nasty comments, flooding our comment section of the channel, etc. when we don't want that. It could stir emotion in both, or angst in both deviant criminal and victims alike, victims of these crimes, these sins, iniquities and transgressions. So we will only relay what has been said in those documentary videos and the things that express that relate to this particular video presentation. If this video resonates with you, you like it, please subscribe to us, give us a like and your comments, add your comments below this video, but keep them nice, mature, adult fashion. Then share this particular video with family, friends and others that you know, so they will become awake, aware of the crimes of the devious, the deviants, the sins, iniquities, transgressions of many, as well as those within themselves, as all have sinned, all are guilty, all commit sins, all have fallen short of the glory of God, are under his curse or his wrath, judgment, and will be answerable to him when they die and stand before him. Peace, shalom, shalom, peace be with you, peace be unto you. We do have more here, we just got to find it. Okay. Yeah, we've recently viewed a lot of criminal deviants who have victimized many via their lusts, need for power, and admitted they get a power rush from doing their crimes, makes them feel good, etc. All felt good to them when committing those devious acts. But we won't be showing these particular documentary videos, as they are too detailed and will be highly shocking to normal everyday law-abiding citizens and could cause memory flashbacks that affect actual victims or victims of that sort of deviant crime. We could leave a link to them below, so you could, below this video, so you could go and watch these yourselves and come to your own conclusions, understanding, perspectives, opinion, views on them. This could cause retort, etc., unwarranted, immature retort for people not listening to what these criminals have done and what's coming out from them, right, in these recollections, these admittances, etc. And we don't need that sort of silly retort. Okay? If we get that, we will block you, we will ban you from our channel, because we don't put up with that, right? Okay, these documentary videos actually have these criminals, these deviants, recollecting their crimes, and a lot of them are repentant of that. They apologise, but one made a mistake of saying, well, you should cure them or fix them within that community. They should remain in that community and be treated there. This other person interviewing them was like, what the? No, you can't have that. You do a crime, you got to pay for it, and you got to go to jail. Can't put you back into the community and fix you in the community, so you end up doing it again. But this guy was saying, oh no, you have to put us in the community, fix us, so we don't do it again. Could be a bad move there. This guy looked at him with, what the hell? Face, right? yeah, it could cause retort if we showed this video, unwanted, immature retort, because of these people who are not watching that video and trying to come to an understanding of why these people do that. As a behavioural analyst, a psychiatrist, or a psychiatrist, or a therapist, mental doctor would do in a session to better understand their human error, their mistakes, their frailty, etc. And therefore fully understand what we are trying to bring to all. It's along the same lines of those professionals. So let's get back to the religions, the three organised religions, to see what they have in their holy writ, their books, scrolls, manuscripts, etc. Try to understand all these people and why they do what they do, or did what they did. We're driven to do what they've admitted to doing from their very mouths, what drove them to do exactly what they did. Again, we decided to do this particular video as it came to our attention of the constant deviant criminal actions of certain sect members of the US black community, and others being caught having committed similar deviant or devious crimes and getting busted, going to court and then to jail, and leaving the poor victims behind, sometimes or most times their own children or other people's children, minors, etc., as victims in their wake due to those crimes that they did. Brought to the attention of Sarnetta, or revealed to Sarnetta on this Sarnetta TV. So again, if you enjoyed this video, it's really opened up your eyes to it. Hopefully it made sense. Subscribe to our channel, give us a like, add your comments below, and keep them nice, keep them mature, adult fashion, and we'll get back to you on those as soon as possible. Don't forget to give us a like, and then go share this video with all your family, friends, and others.